I never imagined that I could be an artist. My name is Vinicius Libardoni. I'm Brazilian, but I was born to an Italian family. I always like to draw. Everything starts from drawing. I started doing drawing classes since I was 8 years old. I didn't have any artist as an example to follow. My understanding at that time, it was too risky. I never considered being an artist as an option. I went to study architecture. I have been working as an architect for 7 years. It wasn't by an accident I started doing printmaking. It was love in the first sight. I decided then to move to Poland to take it seriously. I did an MFA in arts and then a doctoral PhD in arts as well. To get to know more, to understand better, to have a broader view of all the printing techniques and how I could incorporate it into my field of expression, let's say, and make it my own language. It's easy to say that I'm fascinated about architecture. People used to ask, are you still considering doing architecture? And I feel that what I do is still architecture. The images, they are printed images, but there are also a lot of what I understand of architecture as well in those images. I never wanted to separate myself from the architecture. I didn't want to stop being an architect. So for me, the print medium was a way to explore alternative ways of making architecture, of depicting buildings, structures that have been forgotten, that have been abandoned, that have been destroyed. And I want to bring them back, that people can look at them and start thinking, what is this all about? The stories behind those buildings are not clear at all, and I want people to consider that there may be some parts of their histories that haven't been told, that haven't been discussed enough. All the images I create are draw after a 3D model of it, so I create this 3D model to understand better the structure itself and to choose also the perspective I feel it's more appropriated to reveal the elements that I think are really powerful in those buildings, those structures. The raw structure is telling me something. Look at this element, look at this detail, look at this window. You don't see people on the prints. The black and white gives a sense of an old photograph. I'm trying to listen to the building, let's say, or to read it, to translate what I see into something that also has its own voice. The question that triggers my mind is when this is happening. They have been destroyed in the present, in the recent years, and we see a lot of buildings that still are being torn down, that have been destroyed nowadays, and we see that it progresses into the future. New generations, they have no experience with those stories, and maybe they want to remember something that they don't know, they never experienced. They want to understand the environment, the context their fathers, their grandfathers lived. They praise a past they don't know. My first artistic residence to Kettingen, it was so amazing. It was an experience I would never forget. It changed somehow my life. It was the moment where I understood I can be an artist.